It is my great privilege to introduce my husband and the next Vice President of the United States, JD Vance.
JD Vance will be one of the youngest U.S. vice presidents if he wins election with Donald Trump in November. Vance and his wife, Usha, are both members of the millennial generation, a demographic group the Pew Research Center says consists of people born between 1981 and 1996. Millennials in the U.S. face economic challenges, including high student loan debt and housing costs. They are known for quickly adapting to technology and being shaped by the September 11, 2001 terror attacks, which Vance says changed his life.
After 9/11, I did what thousands of other young men my age did in that time of soaring patriotism and love of country. I enlisted in the United States Marines.
Texas millennial Sarah Gardner says Republicans are ready for Vance.
We have a lot of older politicians in Washington, and some of them have been there for far too long, so it's great to have somebody with new ideas that can bring a new perspective and really represent the younger voters.
With Kamala Harris now the Democratic Party's likely presidential candidate, public opinion polls are showing a spike in support for her among younger voters.
In this election, we know young voters will be key, and we know your vote cannot be taken for granted. It must be earned, and that is exactly what we will do.
In California, millennial David Mraz says Harris is the best choice for younger voters.
But I think in this moment, to have a competitive race, I think she is a fresh face. I think she has the qualifications to assume the role, and I think she can take it to Trump.
Combined, millennial voters and those from the younger Generation Z make for a powerful voting bloc, says Denora Getachew, the CEO of DoSomething.org, a group that encourages young people to take part in activism and service.
If they turn out to vote at the same levels they did in 2020, they'll make up 37% of the electorate, right? So there's step one, actually register to vote. Step two, turn out to vote, or show up for what, as we say.
While millennial voters are politically diverse, they generally agree on the need for change.
We're seeing America crumble down to the ground, and that's because the people who are elected are not of our age. The next generation are people who are 20s, in their 30s, and their 40s. Why do we have people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s representing us?
70% of millennial voters say inflation and cost of living are their top election issues, according to a U.S. News and World Report poll. Those economic concerns rank far ahead of reproductive rights, gun violence, and climate change. Elizabeth Cherneff, VOA News, Washington.